What's up, Green Machine Sam, back with another video today. It's another episode of Washington Football Rebuild. With this trade, we're sending Quentin Nelson and a backup lineman and a third-round pick to the Bills for some linebackers, and then trading Creed Humphrey, Tyreek Smith, and Dan Carter for a seventh. And you may be saying that's a lot of value for a seventh. Colts are also taking my cap penalty from Quentin Nelson and from all those guys, which only one of them had cap hit. Two of them, actually, Dan Carter as well. So was Quentin Nelson. And then just trading a bunch of guys that are either regressing or just are backups or just don't need them on the team anymore for later round picks or some players here like Greg Meyer, Chris Pollard, and a second for a wide receiver with star that's only a year removed from college, in Henry Boston. And you may be saying, why are you getting rid of Quentin Nelson? We have guys on the line that I can develop. We have Noah Edison, we have Joe Shields, we have Trey Richardson, we have Jay Butler, and we have Bobby Monroe. And Bobby Monroe's contract gets very, very cheap in 2 years. When he's really gonna hit regression and be in the 80s, he's only gonna be worth like 4 or 5 mil. So me having him on the team isn't terrible, and I prefer him over Quentin Nelson just for the simple fact that we drafted Bobby Monroe, so the storyline's a little bit better there. Ryan Hawkinson, Austin Hawkinson's so-called brother in this timeline, he did sign somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where. He did leave. It's been 4 years, so he has moved on from the Giants. If you guys are new here, my name is Green Machine Sam. This is what I do. I do rebuilds, franchise modes. I do 2K content, Madden content, GTA, Rainbow Six Siege. I do roster updates. And some of the big things that happened last year. I didn't show off the team at the end of the episode, which is something I forgot to do. Austin Hawkinson has Superstar X Factor. Steven Street has Superstar now. So, we're going to start Cam Allen. I know it's not the greatest move, and something that I didn't realize was how close Saquon Barkley was to taking over the greatest running back ever. Because I think at this point, I don't remember exactly how many yards Saquon Barkley got in this season, but he's very close. He's only like 1,000. I think I did the math, and he's like 1,156 yards away from passing Emmitt Smith, and he's 6 touchdowns away. So yes, Cam Allen is starting this year, but after this year, next year, once I actually get to recording it, he will be starting again. Granted, he's a low 80 now, but Mike Lowell has star now. Sanborn has a dev trait, so it's really weird how Jose Ramos and Deshaun Beckham never got dev traits. That's something that very much confused me. I did bring in some backup free agents like Bradley Chubb and Daniel Jennings, and some other guys as well as Nick Boyle, a 4th-string tight end to play that long snapper and just backup role. Cam Allen's going to get plenty of touches. Hopefully he has a good dev trait. Hopefully we can develop him quickly. Steven Street's still going to be in the slot with St. Clair and Ridley. St. Clair's another guy that I brought in from free agency. He's a 76 overall, and he's a deep threat. He's only a one-sided wide receiver, but oh well. Mike Lowell and Oliver and Chase Young are going to be starting as well on that rush D-line spot, just because they are the best players that we have. Carl Davis is going to start at sub-linebacker because he is the lowest and he is my middle linebacker. I want to get him up there. And I found some pretty decent players in the practice squad pool, and people can steal them. So it's just like, yes, I can have players on there. I'm not going to put anybody that is going to be useful to me and I hope to develop, but it is going to contain guys that I can use for future trades. I can develop, and who knows, they might be able to play that 5th-string role for me. Larry White's a guy that we traded for. I don't remember if I showed that off. I think I did. He's a rookie cornerback, or was a rookie cornerback at this point, or was a second-year guy. So we do have to bring back Ed Oliver. That's going to be expensive. So got to come away with that at the midseason mark. Not doing great. Especially with having to try to develop a new O-line and a running back and all this and that. We're 3-4. It's not looking great for us. At this point last year, we were 6-2. So you know, we got to do better. Got to scout some O linemen, got to scout some D linemen, got to get players in here that can win us games, and just have to come away with better opportunities for our team. Now, of course, I did say we were developing O linemen, but you never can not look at O linemen. You can always get better on the O line, it seems like. So that's something you have to keep aware. Ed Oliver's really our only free agent, and he's a 96, which means I don't think he's going to get very low by the time he's 35. I think by the time he's 35, he might be mid-80s, But just the simple fact that he'll be in the 90s for at least 2 more years, really just tells you that we need to bring him back. And we do end up missing the playoffs, so practice squad players signed. And this is our first time missing the playoffs in quite some time. I think since drafting Chris Smart back in season 3. So we went 7 seasons with making the playoffs. So we probably had one of the longest active playoff appearances. Now the Ravens probably have it. Yeah, it did not start off hot. We went 1-4 through the first 5 weeks. Turned it around slowly, making it 5-4, but then just couldn't finish off the season. I think when I went through and checked, I think if we didn't score more than 28 points, we didn't win. So, I think our lowest win was against the Cowboys, which was 28-10, and there was multiple times that we didn't even score 20. There was multiple times that we didn't score over 21. So, there was multiple times we didn't score over 13. So, and because we're not winning games, you're going to see a decrease in stats. I think the run game really, really took a hit, just for the simple fact that we did start Cam Allen. And I think that's what really slowed us down. I think if we would have started Saquon like we were supposed to, I think we easily go 10-6 and make the playoffs again. So that's mainly my fault. I shouldn't have gotten, so deep into let's develop these guys that it ultimately hurt the team. Because Henry Boston's going to be hurting now because he didn't get the receptions and the yards like he was supposed to. Steven Street's going to be hurting. Matt Phillips, Pat, our O-line's going to be hurting. And this is the first time I've ever seen this. Noah Edison, our starting right guard, did not let up a sack. Now, yes, he is a pass-protecting style player, but we have Quentin Nelson. We had Quentin Nelson, who was a 99 overall. All his stuff was upgraded, and all but I think Agile was upgraded, and he would let up sacks. So it was real weird. 4 people on the D-line with 10 or more tackles for loss. The defense took a step back too. Now, granted, could this be because of a D-tackle missing, like Tyreek Smith? Could it be because Cleek Hudson wasn't there? Could it have been from really anything? Yeah, it definitely could have. But I think it's just the offense not performing well. You see this with the Bears right now. The offense isn't performing well, so the defense doesn't look as good, but that's because they're out on the field so much. It's not because, they're actually bad. It's just because they're out on the field so much that there's more film on them. They're getting tired faster, stuff like that. No touchdowns, 1 safety from Calvin Davis. J.J. Maillard just still putting up fucking ridiculous numbers. 52 of 52, 11 for 14, 57 the longest. Jonathan Payne, kicker converted punter, kind of like Pat McAfee. He's performing well and no return touchdowns for us. Clay Baker wins MVP and an 81 overall. Ever since Chris Smart won the MVP, I haven't seen him in the MVP race. I know he's on the Raiders, so I normally don't check AFC Offensive Player of the Year, so I'm hoping he's doing well. I know they're not great, but I know they had Jamar Chase and Henry Ruggs for a while, so he had some decent receivers, so hopefully he was still putting up at least good numbers. Like Johnny McCutcheon's been on our team. I don't think Roquan was on our team. I don't think he was. Actually, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Offensive Rookie of the Year, our fullback gets in at 10. Zaborn on the Defensive Rookie of the Year at number 2. Atkins and Baker at 5 and 6 apiece. So, did not have a great year. Simple as can be. Looking at playoffs, I thought Matt Phillips made it. Nope, different Matt Phillips. Deontay Harris, our former wide receiver, makes it. Pat makes it at tight end 3. Henson, one of our former centers, makes it. Yeah. Ed Oliver makes it as defensive tackle number 1. And Tyreek Smith makes it at defensive tackle number 1 on AFC side. McCutcheon, one of our former linebackers, makes it. CGJ, guy that played for us for a little bit, makes it. Eric Ash makes it, which is cool. Good for him. And that's about it. So, nothing special, but hey. Nick Chubb decides to retire. He was a Redskin for quite some time. He was that number 2 to Saquon. They performed very nicely together, being that thunder and lightning punching pack. So, decided to check if anybody retired from our team. Just Nick Boyle. We don't keep a lot of older guys on the team. Nick Boyle decides to retire after being a long snapper for a year. Justin Reed down to 76. Don't need him anymore. It's just not worth it. The rest of the guys not really worth it to bring back. I wasn't going to bring back John Crawford, but just don't need him. Let's get rid of as many pieces as we can so we can bring in some of these guys. After trading away pick after pick after pick, we decided to sign some players here. These are the guys that we did get. We ended up getting some backup O-linemen, some tight ends, and a couple of middle linebackers. So, key positions that we were suffering at. Going to trade 15, a safety, and a 5 for a trade down in the first round and a third round pick. Got some guys that I want to take on the later part of the board, so got to get some later picks. Number 17, 201, and Samuel, that linebacker that we traded from Buffalo. We're getting a 1, 2, and a 4. Tight end Rucker, a 5 and a 1 gets us a trade down to a later pick in the 1 and a second round pick. We're going to end up taking Tracy Spence here, number 6 in the class. We took him at number 25. This class is not going to be good if he's a 75 and he's the 6th best guy. Marquez Beckham here, 6'1", 22 years old, out of Georgia, man-to-man. Number 73, he is a 73 overall. Number 18 in the class, took him at number 26. If I would have waited any longer, I feel like these guys would have went off the board. Manu Contreras in this second round took him at number 39. He's number 10 in the class. Star development, tight end. He could be a good backup to Pat, or even be starting in a couple of years. Who knows? Going to trade down here at pick number 25. Don't need it for right now, so we're going to trade down with the Pats, get some picks of the future, a 2 and a 4 of next year. We're going to take Juan Atkinson, related to the Atkinson that's already on the team. We're going to pretend he's a power guy out of UCF, 6'5", 324 pounds, number 32 in the class, took him at number 58. He's good depth, probably not going to be starting. A 3, 4, and a 6 of this year gets me a 4 and a 3. The 4 is this year, 3 is next year from the Cowboys. In the 4th round at pick number 2, we're going to trade down with the Saints, pick up a 4th of next year and a 7th. I think we did well. Wide receiver, we needed a third wide receiver. Luke Boyce walked in the offseason. I didn't have a third wide receiver that I was like 100% on. Atkinson looks pretty good. He could be a backup for a couple years before probably ultimately walking. Contreras, I think he can be good maybe in 3-4 years. He might be able to be starting, and Pat might be gone. And then the cornerback Beckham, who knows? We have a bunch of defensive backs that I could be starting, so who knows yet? Numbers are subject to change. Positions are subject to change, just for the simple fact that I do trade people, and if I don't like their number, I will change it. Manu Contreras, tight end. Hopefully he can perform. Hopefully he can be that backup guy. Hopefully he can catch some balls and ultimately help us with that tight end spot, because Pat is getting older. But with that being said, guys, if you like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, turn on post notifications. If you guys do subscribe, remember, subscribing is free, and you guys can always unsub later. St. Clair, McCollum, and Tom Curtis for a first-round pick. But with that being said, guys, I'm out. Go check out my newest roster updates on 2K. I'm out. Peace.